Recorded Books and RB Digital present Lincoln on Leadership for Today. Abraham Lincoln's Approach to 21st Century Issues by Donald T. Phillips. Narrated by the author.
Author's Note. This book is a journey through Abraham Lincoln's life from a leadership perspective. It's also one big story, a story about how a poor young boy, predestined to be a leader, became one of the most respected people in world history. In the main narrative, I write about what Lincoln said and did in his own day, with regard to, ironically, many of the same issues that still confront us. Over the years, when I've participated in speaking events or talked to the media, I've invariably been asked what Lincoln would do about the problems we have in our world today, or what his stance might be on specific issues. Although Lincoln is long gone, his legacy, his reputation for consistently doing the right thing, and his wisdom continue to serve generations of Americans as something of a moral compass. And so, inspired by the many people who have asked me to do so, at the end of each chapter I offer a page or two of my personal thoughts on how Lincoln might specifically handle some key issues of our day. I know it's a risky undertaking, and I certainly understand and respect that many people may disagree or, at the very least, be surprised by some of my conclusions. But these are honest and sincere opinions based on decades of study, and I accept full responsibility for what I have written. I also invite you to wrestle through what you think Lincoln might do in any given situation. By studying Lincoln's life along with his words and actions in the context of history, I believe we can glean meaning from the remarkably moral and ethical life he led, and the lessons learned just might become a model for more effective leadership in our own time. Abraham Lincoln's example represents the best of the America to which we may aspire. He showed us the kind of people we can be, not an America that divides, but an America that pulls together. Not a short-sighted America, but an America that sees beyond and deeper. That is the Lincoln of this book. In the end, though, it's up to each of us individually to determine what part of Lincoln we might use in our own daily lives to help make this world a better place in which to live. Donald T. Phillips. He would sometimes mount a stump and begin giving a speech. Sure enough, all work would stop and everybody would gather around Abe to listen. Sometimes he gave political speeches to the boys. Dennis Hanks, Lincoln's cousin, recalling Abraham Lincoln's boyhood years. Prelude. Be good to one another. That was the last thing Nancy Hanks Lincoln said to her 9-year-old son Abraham and his older sister Sarah. Spoken on her deathbed, they were not just words of hope and advice, they were words of faith. By all accounts, Lincoln's mother was a good Christian woman, very intelligent, and naturally strong-minded. She read the Bible to her children, taught them both to read and write by using the Scripture. And Nancy seemingly took literally the statement from Ephesians, "Be kind to one another." That's how people should be guided in life, she believed. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. When Abraham Lincoln was born in a one-room log cabin in the Kentucky backwoods on February the 12th, 1809, Thomas Jefferson was still President of the United States. Kentucky was officially part of Virginia, a slave state, and Illinois had just become a new territory. Although dirt poor, Nancy Lincoln and her illiterate husband Thomas had a strong sense of morality. They were members of the Separate Baptist Church, a mostly anti-slavery denomination whose influence may have contributed to the family moving to a 300-acre farm in the new Free State of Indiana. It was there that Nancy Hanks Lincoln died in 1818, and by the next year, Thomas had married Sarah Bush Johnston, a widow with 3 children.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.